Alright. Hi, Sean. My name is Duncan, and I'm going to be walking you through this session today. Before we begin, I have some information for you, and I'm going to read it to make sure that I cover everything. You probably have a good idea of why we asked you here, but let me go over it again briefly. We're asking people to try using a website that we're working on so we can see whether it works as intended. The session should take about an hour. The first thing I want to make clear right away is that we're testing the site, not you. You can't do anything wrong here. In fact, this is probably the one place today where you don't have to worry about making mistakes. As you use this site, I'm going to ask you as much as you can to try and think out loud. Say what you're looking at, what you're doing, and what you're thinking. This will be a big help to us. Also, please don't worry that you're going to hurt our feelings. We're doing this to improve the site, so we need to hear your honest reactions. If you have any questions as we go along, just ask them. I may not be able to answer them right away, since we're interested in how people do when they don't have someone sitting next to them. But if you still have any questions when we're done, I'll try to answer them as best I can. And if you need to take a break at any point, just let me know. You may have noticed that we're recording. With your permission, we're going to record what happens on the screen in our conversation. The recording will only be used to help us figure out how to improve the site, and it won't be seen by anyone except the people working on this project. It helps me because I don't have to take as many notes. Also, there are a few people that are going to look at this video later. If you would, I'm going to ask you to sign a simple permission form, which you already did, so thank you for that. It just says that we have permission to record you and that the recording will only be seen by people working on this project. Alright. Do you have any questions for me, as of right now?
Nope.
Alright. So before we look at the site, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. What's your occupation?
I'm a student.
Alright. What do you do all day?
I generally study for classes and browse the internet, I guess.
Okay. Now, roughly, how many hours a week altogether would you say you spend using the internet, including web browsing and email, at work and at home?
Probably 13 or 14.
Alright. Thank you. What's the split between email and browsing, you'd say? Rough percentage.
Probably 95% browsing. Just a little bit of email.
Okay. When you're on the web, what kind of sites are you looking at?
Generally Reddit, Facebook, either social media or news type articles.
Okay. Do you have any favorite websites?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Great. So we're done with the questions and we can start looking at the site. So first I'm just going to ask you to look at this page and tell me what you make of it. What strikes you about it, whose site you think it is, what you can do here, and what it's for. Just look around and do a little narrative. You can scroll if you want to, but don't click on anything just yet.
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm liking the image and how it's doubled with the color, the pink. Although the only thing that is sort of odd to me is I don't necessarily know what a longevity center does, or necessarily what aesthetic and preventative medicine is. Maybe it's, to keep your skin looking nice. I'm not entirely sure what that really is. It's kind of an abstract thing. But yeah, it looks clean and it's very modern. It definitely is very deliberate. Everything looks in its place.
Cool. Thank you. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'll read each one aloud for you, and you also have a printed copy. I'm going to ask you to do these things without using search. We'll learn a lot more about how well the site works that way. And again, as much as possible, it will help if you can try to think out loud as you go along. Alright, so first task question is, where would you find information about Vermont longevity?
So instantly I can see there's a little bit here in the top right. This about us, sort of like a secondary, like, oh, okay, there's more information. And for part of me almost wants to be able to scroll down and see about information under it. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably where I'd go. Yep, that looks right.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Some sites have like the info at the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, so next question. If you've been assigned a diet plan by a doctor or whomever, where would you find resources for specific meal plans?
Okay, so I'm assuming if I have a diet plan, I'm gonna be going to recipes just because it's the only one that has to do with food. First line therapy doesn't seem to help me there. Um, or perhaps,
Keep in mind the site is incomplete, so
fair enough.
kind of have to chalk through the navigation of what you try to do.
I'm stuck in this now. Won't let me back out. I would assume I'd go to recipes for specific meal plans.
Okay.
I just got stuck.
Yeah. Okay. If you wanted to find out information about omegagenics, where would you go?
Okay, so same as before, I think I'd kind of just start going through the top links until I see something omegagenics, and first line therapy, that happens to be the first one, but that does show me what I need.
Cool. If you wanted to find out information about metabolic detox, which page would you navigate to?
Okay. So again, just trying through all the top links. The change and detox sort of have a common theme, I guess. So that's what we needed. So this clear change link.
Great. And then lastly, if you need to fill out any information prior to your visit, which page would you navigate to?
This one's a lot clearer. I would certainly go right to forums.
Cool. That's very obvious too.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. That was very helpful. Do you have any questions for me? Or any concerns about the site?
I do not.
No? Okay. Thank you very much.